Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of Deal or No Deal Island, US, Season 2, Episode 6. I'm Jonny Fairplay, as always. But hey, how about a callback? She joined us for Episode 1. That's right. It's our favorite runner-up because that's how we do things. Amy McCoy, welcome back to the show.
I'm so excited, especially to talk about last night's episode because it was not my favorite.
Yeah, so let's start with that. The DONDI fandom does not love a cliffhanger.
They don't love a cliffhanger, and I don't think it was an exciting cliffhanger. I don't think that it was anything like on the edge of my seat. I don't think CK is a big crucial player. We don't have a backstory of her. We aren't really connected to her right now. So I don't know. I think it's more I'm actually probably rooting for her to lose and go home because I don't she doesn't do anything for me on TV. But the people that are up for eviction, if she wins and sends somebody home, that's what I'm scared for because I love Seychelle. I don't want Seychelle to go. Lachelle's growing on me. Um, Dixon, the family, like I said this before, the family kind of creeps me out a little bit. So if Dixon went home, I wouldn't mind. But yeah, I don't know. Wasn't like a on the edge of my seat cliffhanger, but it still sucked.
Yeah, I was okay with the cliffhanger aspect of it. I have not been a fan of CK, but I like that CK's kind of been our bad guy if you don't find Dr. Will to be your bad guy.
See, I love Dr. Will.
Like, yeah, well, but there's plenty of people that do not.
Right,
So
yes.
I think you're right. I think the origin story we got for Philip last episode, not last night's, but last week's episode. I think that I understand why we got that origin story then for the setup for now, which I feel like is going to be the payoff for next week and moving forward. Maybe that one could have been used for I think we needed a CK origin story either 2 weeks ago or last week to give us more of a foundation of here's who we like, here's who we don't like, who's who we're building upon, for it to be so centered on CK that we haven't it just that character hasn't been fleshed out for us as the viewer.
No, it hasn't, and you can't really I mean, as someone that's been on the show, I couldn't really watch as just a viewer last year because I
Right.
knew every intricate behind the scenes. This year I'm watching as nothing but a viewer, and I feel a little bit of a connection to Philip a little bit. Seychelle reminds me of myself. She says what's on her mind. All we've really seen from CK is just the beef between her and Dr. Will. Like you said, there's no story, there's no connection that anybody can make with her. And
Yeah.
so maybe that's why I feel the way I do, but she's just not interesting to me.
Like I want a backstory, but I don't want it a good backstory. I want to hear maybe shit just falls right for CK. Like give me a backstory in which she's a bad guy, in which I know why to dislike her, versus I don't like her going against Dr. Will. I don't like her being one dimensional in gameplay, or like I want just
Yeah.
that extra little I just wrapped I do a wrestling podcast, and we're talking we were just talking there's a wrestler that just got fired, this guy Giovanni Vinci, where he was a member of this group and he's kind of the lackey of the group, and then they kicked him out of the group and then they repackaged him, and he was a jet setter, he's at the finest restaurants, he drives the finest cars, he goes skiing in the Aspens, all these things. And it's just and then they did nothing with him, and it's just like, okay, that's great, but you know who that backstory would have been good for? This other guy that they actually did push and didn't give him a back. You need layers. And
Right.
that's what brings in viewer. The emotional attachment between viewer and player is what pushes a television show.
Yes.
And like Survivor, in the new era, everyone had a sad story. Everyone was bullied as a kid. It's just like, okay, I get it. And I love that you're giving me this emotional connection, but they're all the same person. So I don't care about any of them because,
Right.
yeah, I was bullied too. But as a result, I'm a better, stronger person. And I don't walk around at age 50 with my Letterman jacket because that was the highlight of my life. And it's all been
Yes.
downhill from there.
Right.
So just I mean, literally 90 seconds of CK development in something outside the game, but unlikable if that's the character that's who this character is supposed to be.
Right. And it's almost like, we obviously season one has a Dondi chat, and in the beginning of season one, we didn't see a lot of Jordan. And what we did see was, very minimal. So I'm like, are we not build I don't know why. Are we not building this character because we're gonna give her a hero edit or a winner's edit? Like I just can't my mind can't turn off from being a contestant when I watch the
Yeah.
show because everything goes. But I'm with you. I think we don't have any layers here, and that maybe that's why she's just so boring to me. But like
Yeah.
CK is probably the most boring person on the show to watch for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't care so if it's a hero edit, give us a clue that she's a hero. If she's
Or
a winner,
something.
give us a clue.
Yeah.
Just yeah, as I said, like all we get is just like she's argumentative. She cannot see outside of her lane,
Right.
and it ends there. And yes, we all know that person that only thinks about themselves. They only
Selves.
see one lane. I get all that.
Yeah.
But give me one other thing to where I'm like, okay, and you can justify a cliffhanger based on this one person. So because
Yeah.
and even Letty, like I love Letty. I feel like when this is all said and done, Letty's going to be one of these players that we talk about. Like if there's Dondi All Star season 5, it's like, oh, Letty, first round draft pick.
Yeah.
She's there.
Yeah.
But and even if it's the Letty CK confrontation of it all, I need more on the other half of this. And I'm not overly impressed with the Letty story that we've been told.
Yeah, I'm not either. Letty has grown on me. In the second episode, I was like, nah, she's really tall, she's athletic, she'll
She's
do well,
tall.
blah 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 blah. But she's grown on me. She's actually grown into a character that I'm liking. Like last night when she was like, I'm going to play on integrity. And a lot of people, if they're confronted, besides Dr. Will or Parvati, if they're confronted, they'd be like, okay, 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 like you're right, I'll go for you. And she was like, no, Will, Philip just saved me. I'm going to go. Like she stood her ground. It sounds like she wants to play, with integrity from her own viewpoint. So I was really, and maybe again, because I don't like CK that much as a player, maybe it's her standing up to CK that won me over. But I'm actually, Letty's growing on me. I think Philip's probably playing the best game so far, in my opinion, but Letty is growing on me,
Not
finally.
according to Parv.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I think it goes back to the CK thing. Like, she was like, CK was asked Parv, like, should I just blow this motherfucker up? And Parv's like, yes. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you're playing.
because
Like, of course she's gonna say yes because any heat you can take off her, you're gonna cause problems. Like, I'm like, see the bigger picture, people. Like, I think CK was really dumb for just outing everybody last night. I don't think that was a good move.
I was for that because I'm it's Pat. I literally had popcorn. I'm like, tell me more. Tell me more about
Keep going.
everyone's game and how they all came to you and how they threw.
Right. But I feel like she just gets in her own way. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you like, I don't know. I just feel like that was terrible gameplay. I mean, for TV and dramatics and theatrics, yes. But for her personal gameplay, I think that was terrible. You have Parv, David, and Will. Maria Graces went home, and you have three against your alliance. Even if you and Letty bumped heads, it's too early to start drawing these lines. Numbers are three against five or six, So
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think that was the best time for her to do that, but she did.
So I had Kim on last season, and Kim threw out the idea of season 3 potentially being 6 TV veterans versus 7 newbies. I like that idea, but even with that idea, I feel I need 2 things to happen.
Hmm.
I need a 2-hour premiere, which we had this time. So
Yeah.
so so keep that. And with that 2-hour premiere, we reintroduce the 6 reality television legends or previous reality television people to the audience that may not know it, because like DONDI is a new audience.
It's very,
So
yeah.
so reintroduce those people that have made it on other shows and give them enough to where they understand the character. But if they want to do a YouTube search or whatever, they can finish the story. So,
I
but
love that idea. I think that it would be fun. Something in my head's floated around too, like something that would be fun. Let's just say, I mean, we don't really like me and Boston Rob were at each other's throat last season. Steph and Boston Rob were at each other's throat. I think it would be fun to have two enemies that did not work together now have to work as a team from all shows. From
do some team more team stuff.
yeah, that have
Yeah.
to work together because we were
Yeah.
so opposite forces, and not just Dondi, but two enemies that clashed from a couple different reality shows, Big Brother, whatever it may be.
Sure.
I think that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Almost like a rival. So, well,
Yeah,
if Kim's idea, we do the 6 previously re, reality television people versus 7 newbies, because you get yet. I feel you should give the newbies the advantage in some way to even the odds. And even though it's just like, okay, it's up to you not to screw this up. They will screw it up. Don't worry.
right.
So,
Every time.
but we get an introduction of the 6 new people. We have a reintroduction of the ones that's where we're bringing in these extra viewers from. But moving forward, this show needs to be 90 minutes. I'm sorry.
It does. It's you can't. Yeah.
So,
You
and
go.
with
You
those
go
90 minutes,
challenge.
that's when we start telling this. That's when we give the origin stories of these new people. That's where we're showing more of the like. I understand the excursions is a big part, and the fact that there's so much height stuff and it's just so over the top and all that. That's great, but you're talking to someone who has lived through 48 seasons of Survivor now. If I wasn't doing a podcast, I don't care how grandiose the immunity challenge or the reward challenge is. If I wasn't doing a podcast, unless I see someone hitting their nuts on something, I would
Yeah.
be fast forwarding. I don't care.
Yeah, so that's what me and my husband talk about. I'm like, it's kind of boring. We see the excursions, which might I add, are minuscule, so easy compared to what we went through, in my opinion. Like we were crawling through mud that was 4 foot deep. Like I don't know, that's beyond. That's beyond. But excursions and then straight to temple. We don't get to see any strategy, any
Yeah.
gameplay, any character build. Like I feel like, and sometimes I just fast forward through the 8 minutes of blah blah because I don't get anything from it. Like
Yeah.
show me the challenge, who wins, and then take me to temple because I have the beginning and the ending. There's no filler in the middle.
That 30, and I mean, honestly, like what are we missing on Tuesday night that we can't give? There has to be this 90-minute show, and that 90-minute show can fill up that prime time 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. block.
I totally agree.
So,
I
and
totally agree.
and if it's not, fine. Dondi's a 2-hour show. You ain't hurt my feelings.
Exactly. Like, especially being a new show, I feel like I don't know if this is true. I've just heard I haven't done my own research, but apparently like season 1 had really good ratings. Season 2 ratings are little, some episodes are down viewership versus 1. But I think that's because we got a little bit more season 1. Like, we had the night owls, which caused trouble, and we had Aaron and Rob, the bromance and all that, but I haven't really seen anything to hold on to yet, besides the
Yeah.
family. I mean, the family's building a good alliance, but I don't know. I want some more drama and behind the scenes. Like, I want to know what's going on.
Well, the draw. I think we got the drama last week. As a result, we saw a 30% uptick in ratings, which is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think it's the fans going, "We want more drama."
Drama.
And
Yeah.
so this was drama, but with the cliffhanger, I felt like it was just drama for the sake of drama, and I need the total package. I need
Right.
it. I need it all collected. So rumor and innuendo, they're listening, and we're getting more drama on
Yeah.
the final 6 episodes. Is the rumor and innuendo?
We need it.
Also, I check out the Facebook groups and just look at the individual comments on Twitter and Facebook and other stuff, and even here on my YouTube channel. maybe I'm wrong, and my friend Nuzzy, he's co-owner of the hologram business with Howie Mandel. I didn't watch season one on the edge of my seat, going, "Oh my god, I don't care who wins. I just got to know who the banker is." I didn't care, and then when it was revealed to be Howie Mandel, I'm like, okay, it's Howie Mandel. Like, like it was a fine,
Yeah,
fun payoff. I'm just like, oh, the guy from Deal No Deal Island. It all makes
yeah, it made
great.
sense. I think
Yeah,
Howie was a
but I
given.
don't. But like season two, and there's a lot of this on Twitter and or X, and it's just like we don't care who the female banker is. We don't care that it's a female. We don't care that it's not a male. Like it's not like when we watch Survivor. It's just like, okay, well, sure, might win the season, or Billy or Andy or whoever, but I just got to see Mark Burnett come out at the end with the check.
Yeah,
Like, I don't give a fuck, and I love Mark
right.
Burnett. He made me a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I feel like the show's doing a really good job letting us know it's a she. That's one thing that you couldn't have missed. It's a girl.
Yeah.
But I don't think that, I mean, when you're on the show and you're like, oh my God, who's the banker coming up with this sick, twisted stuff? Like, I get it, for them as contestants, but as viewers, I don't, that's not a big draw, that
Well,
it's a
unless you're
woman or,
Parvati, because every time they mention the bank, she literally rolls her eyes every time.
I think I have a good idea of who I think it is.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people are saying Jordan from season one would be epic. I think that would be so great because she's been through it, so she knows how hard it is. But I think it's maybe like somebody from Shark Tank, like Lori or the big real estate. I think her name's Barbara. I think it may be somebody like that that's just
Yeah, once again,
power
I probably
hungry.
won't recognize even the Meghan Markle or whatever. I like not in my stratosphere of care. I don't.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
a big draw.
yeah. So, well, I mean, I guess she's royal family, but once again, like and formerly a briefcase for it, but all that's great. But I don't feel this audience is that like other than Dixon. Like, I feel like Dixon would lose his mind, and we could potentially have the imagery of Dixon losing his mind at the final temple or what. But I'm just like, they're they're missing the forest for the trees.
Yeah,
So, all right,
yeah, I agree.
let's talk episode 6, Power Grab, and Lachelle doesn't like the antics from
Oh,
from, from Dr. Will at the previous temple, and Letty's cool with it. And this one hits a little different for the Golden God. So, well, there's three different perspectives here. Where where are you of the Dr. Will of last week? I had no problem with the picking a random number, don't care. And I literally have no problem with picking 1, 2, 3, 4, because in all honesty, that is a smarter pick system than going randomly, because probability states they are not going to stack all the lows and all the highs beside one another. So that is
correct.
like, they were so insulted that he just went with logic, and I'm just like, a thank you also works.
I Okay, so my perspective is I love Dr. Will. If I was on the show beside him as a contestant, he would probably annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But as a viewer, I'm liking it. It's bringing a little bit of, like
Yeah.
he hit the button before he said deal or no deal.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of took a little bit of integrity out of the game, but at the same time, he was so smart to listen so close to the rules, and then he got to see people's reactions. But as far as the 1, 2, 3, 4, it don't make a shit, because at the end of the day, if you go to the very, very end, you have a 50-50 chance. If
Yeah.
you're in a position where you have 4 low and 1 high, and then you have an 80% chance, it doesn't matter what number you pick. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to where you leave yourself mathematically,
Yeah.
where so I thought I actually was hilarious. I was like, this sick motherfucker. One,
Yeah.
two, three, four. Like, I didn't care, but oh my God, you could see people's just like
Oh
Like,
yeah, they're just so insulted, and I'm just like, no, like logically that makes more sense. And then pressing the saying deal, pressing the button early. I know Dr. Will as a person. There's no way he didn't double clarify with production before he did that. And peek behind the curtain, little birdie whispered that when he walked off last week, and he wasn't there for the case reveal after the excursion, is because he pulled his rope before Dixon. The rope was not connected to anything. It was just for show.
oh,
The stunt crew accidentally dropped Will by mistake.
okay. Okay.
And then they went back and had Dixon drop and all, and they're like, hey, he's like, no, I'm not coming back. Like you've completely fucked up everything. That's
Right. Okay. That
according to
makes sense.
I don't know. I see stuff online. Who's to say? But that's the root, because I was just like, I know Dr. Will, and and I know he's making. I was just like, is this really the hill to the sword to fall on?
Right.
And if what we were shown was that hill, no. But if what that little birdie said was true, then I'm throwing a temper tantrum too.
Yeah, there's so much behind the scenes. I mean, I know we see 42 minutes or 48 minutes of, something that you're essentially being recorded 24/7. Well, I mean, obviously not 24/7 when you're sleeping, but for the majority of the time out there, so it's hard to kind of narrow down what, but they played it off pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
they did a good job of being like, "Oh, whatever, he'll be back."
Yeah.
But
So, but
but
no,
there's a
but
lot,
but,
yeah.
but I would be pissed off. So yeah, because Dr. Will caught some shade from myself and others. Is just like, oh my, like you're a grown man. It's just like, no, this grown man will throw a temper tantrum too. Because if you're a Dr. Will, you're there for those moments, and then you
Yeah.
pull the rope and they accidentally drop you, and it's just like, what are we doing here?
Well, and it's like I mean, I don't know if he's scared of heights or not, but it's like if you're completely petrified, like Steph on our season was petrified of heights. And we saw Seychelles last night, like, I'm not going again, like, I'm
Yeah,
petrified. So if that's something you're petrified of and you got your nerve up to do it once and then it fucked up and then I'd be like, nope, I'm out. Like, I'm
yeah,
petrified of cats. If I had to go touch a cat twice, I'd be like, nope, I'm done. And I would do the same thing. I would
yeah.
walk off. I don't
Yeah.
know the story behind it, but I would be upset. I get it.
Yeah. So, well, the Golden God says, in spite of everything that happened last week, at least he's honest. I mean,
Yeah. Well, until Will confronted him with like, "Are you some kind of Australian survivor or something?"
well,
And I was like,
we'll get there. We'll get there. Parv says, let him be, and take him out to the Golden God. And the Golden God is like, no, he's like, I'm pitting. He's like, nope, sleep on it. So the Golden God reveals that he is coming for he sleeps on it, and he tells he reveals that sleep helps, and tells Dr. Will flat out, I'm coming for you. And Will goes, you've won, Australian Survivor.
yeah,
He goes, you've won a show. You're from Australia. I'm guessing it's Australia. And Golden God is like, what the fuck is happening right now?
yeah, yeah. He's like, I don't. I was like, I don't know if I was Will. This is just me from like a strategic point. I wouldn't have said anything to him. I would have just went. I would have just in my mind assumed it was true and went and told everybody else. Oh, guess what show he was on? Guess what he won? Even if it's a lie, it's not a lie. But even if it's a lie, who gives a shit? Take the target off you.
Well, I think he did good by getting in Dr. Will's, or getting in the Golden God's head, but
Yeah,
he doesn't even know if Australian Survivor is a show. Because even the Golden God's like, do they even have a version of Survivor? And he's like, I
yeah.
don't.
That was about as good as MG trying to tell him how to play Survivor.
It's pretty good. Golden God's
Was good.
good. He's very
He's
good.
really good. He is really good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
So next we see Parv weaponizing Phil's childhood against him. Whoo! This goes over like a fart in church.
Oh my gosh, he is, and I think it when Philip was so boiling at Temple, I think it was more of some of that built up from what Parv said carried
Yeah,
into Temple. And so when he was sitting there boiling and Parv's like, what's going on? He was like, I'm fine. I'm good. Like, I'm like, if Parv doesn't stop, Philip's going to blow up. And then guess what happened? Philip blows up, not necessarily on Parv, but he takes it on CK. But I think some of that animosity that he was spilling out was towards Parv as well,
I
like
think
getting
so
it out.
too. That's where I feel it's going.
Yeah.
So CK trusts Letty more than anything. Nothing can discourage that. We're fine. Letty thinks CK is good at strategy. There must be another game that she plays in addition to Deal No Deal Island to base that confessional on. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah,
So,
that's funny.
well, it's excursion time, and you have to jump off something, grab a case for someone else. Phillips first. He's grabbing the case for Letty. He's going to high case. He gets it. CK is going for Dixon. It's a mid case. CK looks in the box, cheats, and pulls out Letty. Wait a second. Are you looking in the box here? Okay. I feel that
I was pissed.
I feel Joe should have said something prior to the name even coming out of the box. It's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like we catch it.
Right.
But I don't think it should have even, I don't even think the name should have got, it was so obvious what she was doing. I think Joe should have, put his like, no, this isn't how we're doing this.
Yeah, but I think if you let it happen, like I feel like you could attempt to cheat and Joe could stop you, or you could completely cheat and be like, I gave you a chance to like stop yourself, but she didn't even take a moment to cheat. Like we know in season one, Boston Rob cheated off me. I didn't know what was happening until they called the play or whatever.
Yeah.
But in that, I'm like, you should first of all, you should have learned. Don't fucking cheat. Cheaters never win
No,
because of
not
Rob.
on Dondi.
Not on Gandhi, and because of Rob cheating. That put me in the finale because I would have been able to catch up to him. But I'm like, did you not learn anything? And then now you're cheating. Like you're not. You didn't even they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't understand the rules." You deliberately were like, "Hey, what's the answer on the test?" Like you know. And I'm like, that is so shitty. And I really feel like there should have been more penalty than just like shame, shame. You know, you're not supposed to cheat. Go again. That kind of pissed me off because I was like, that's really fucked up. If I was a contestant and she only got we're gonna do a redo, I would have been like, no, she needs to go to the very end. Like, I don't know. I don't like how that played out. I don't like how that played out.
I felt like there should have been a little more penalty, and B, she was almost. It was like you almost got away with it, so we're not gonna let you get away with it, but know that you almost did. It's like that doesn't work.
Yeah, I feel like she should have been like, and does it change the outcome of her playing the banker? No. But in the moment, I feel like they should have been like, your turn is void, you're automatically in the bottom, you
Yeah, that's it.
cheated, we're done.
We're done.
That's what I
Yeah,
feel. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Joe pulls the next thing.
Because now it's like, it kind of takes the integrity of the show away because it's like, oh, so on the next episode, let's say that we're guessing puzzle numbers and I just walk over and look at your puzzle and I get the answer. What are you going to do? You can't give me a time penalty. You're going to say shame on you. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it doesn't set the tone moving forward. If someone decides, like Dr. Will, his little evil self could be like, well, I can cheat because she did it and yet nothing happened to her. So why would, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't set a good tone.
They went out of their way to set the precedent with Boston Rob on the finale.
Yeah.
So the precedent set, like, why not embrace that versus
Exactly.
it's kind of sort of okay, but it's not. I'm like, well, that's the opposite. Like, well, then it was kind of sort of okay that Boston Rob looked at your puzzle.
Exactly. And that's what I like in Boston. Rob and I are great friends to this day. We get along. We understood it was game. But at the same time, you cheated. There has to be consequences. And he did faced a 13-minute time penalty. Like, so why should CK not have to face any, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
like how that played
Yeah,
out.
I just think, she's just immediately at the bottom. She doesn't get to pull the name out. Boom.
Right. Yep.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then we don't have a cliffhanger in which we may not need a cliffhanger.
Right.
So,
right.
well,
I
it's
don't
okay.
know.
There's no way Boston Rob is going to air the wrong after show afterwards. Okay, let's see. Who knows? All right. It's a redraw, and it's the one that says 100. Oh, Will said Will says CK is a cheater.
Yeah.
Thank you for the intel, Dr. Will.
We would have never known that had you not told us.
Yeah. Will is next and misses for Seychelle. Seychelle for Lachelle. Hi, Mrs. RIP. Well, Seychelle's doing it as if her relatives are dying. This is the only way to save them. RIP the Corderos. And I'm like, oh my God, please do not take Seychelle off my TV.
No, she said R.I.P. the Corderos because she's like, and then when she got a chance to go again, she's like,
No,
"Fuck it, I'm
well, no,
done."
because the Corderos are dead.
Yeah, they're dead,
Yeah,
burnt
sorry.
up, no fire extinguisher, nothing.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
love her. I want her on my TV all 12 episodes. I love her character, her honesty. I just love watching her.
Yeah. So, well, Dixon for CK low because payback's a bitch. Par for Will high. Dave for Philip high. Letty for David high. Lachelle for Seychelle mid. Misses. Seychelle's like, yeah, I'm not jumping again. You're at risk. That's fine. Parvin, Lachelle both get the mid rings, and the results are Letty 3.5 million. Lachelle gets the banker's bust. And as a result of everything, Dixon, Seychelle, Lachelle, and CK up for elimination.
Yeah,
All right.
not
So
fun.
uh, CK doesn't like her Letty alliance now. What happened?
Right?
I
Oh my
remember
gosh.
going into the excursion. She trusts her kind of more than anyone else.
Well, yeah, I trust her more than anything. The
Yeah,
game is good.
yeah.
I don't
God is
know.
good. We're good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, CK wants to play a banker as a result of her distrust of Letty. And to do that, she feels well. She checks with Parvati and says, "Hey, how about I blow up the anti-family alliance and out everyone?" And Party's like, "Yes, this is the greatest plan ever." And Dixon, the brainiac of the bunch, says, "Maybe I should sit this one out and let CK put everyone on blast."
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that again, I just feel like she made a terrible move by outing everyone. That's still way too many people left in the game to do that. Because if you plan on joining the family now, you're number 4. Like you're the
Yeah,
bottom of that.
you're number 4, but what we've seen by way of confessional with the family, 3 and 4 don't matter any more or less to the Golden God of Parvati.
Exactly. They don't care. That's why Parvati's like, yeah, spill the beans, go right for it. Because
Yeah,
she's smart. But if CK is as strategic as she thinks she is, that was terrible. I would have tried to things up with Letty and be like, listen, we know it's them versus us. If I was Letty, I wouldn't have put since Letty had a choice, which again, the cheating thing, CK should have automatically paid the banker no matter what, in my opinion. But I would have made Dixon play and then Dixon take out CK. That's what I would have done because I think Dixon would have taken out CK.
yeah, yeah.
Or Dixon can go home. Dixon can go home. Who cares? Or Dixon can win and take out CK. Who cares? If I'm Letty, I don't give a shit who goes home.
Well, Letty's pissed. She's like, "How you going to cheat and blame it on me?" And I'm just like, "Oh my God, these girls! This is like high school girls fighting. I
Oh
like it."
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm coming for if you stay, I'm coming for your head. And I was like, let's go, Letty. And I've never cheered for Letty this whole season. But last night's episode, I was like, okay, Letty is building on me. I'm liking this.
Let's go. All right. CK says she'll take out Dixon. We'll see. It's time for the Banker's Temple. Everyone looks great. And you know it's the Banker's Temple because Parv is wearing makeup once again.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh my gosh,
do
that
I need to
temple.
mention that every time? Okay.
Yes, you do. She needs to wear makeup every time.
Oh, shots fired, Amy!
She
You were
needs
doing so good with the Dondi community, and I feel this is gonna you're gonna take a step back again.
No, I feel like every woman looks
Okay.
that like my husband tells me, like, I love you, I think you're beautiful, but I love your eyelashes, lipstick. I think Parv is playing a good game, and I think when she wears makeup at the temple, she like, she glow it's like a little glow up for her. I think she needs to wear makeup every time. Seychelle looks really good. I think Seychelle should wear makeup at temple. And I love
Yeah.
her. Her and David or her and Philip are my favorite. But I
Do
think
you think?
every woman dressed up and needs to put on a pretty face. I think that's It goes without saying.
Do you think the Golden God appreciates when Parv puts on makeup?
I think the Golden God and Parv, I think they are just such a okay, I'm just gonna say this to answer your question. Yes, I think the Golden God appreciates when Parv wears makeup because you're dressed nice in these fancy clothes. Like when you're out
Yeah.
busting your ass in water, you don't need mascara running everywhere. But at Temple,
Yeah.
when you're dressed nice, you need makeup on.
That's right. If listen, it is a sexist comment and it's not meant to be sexist. But I will say this: if I were a female that wore makeup, you could not stop me from wearing makeup at the temple.
Exactly. It's your time to be glam for the
Yeah,
episode. You know.
yeah. Like
I don't know.
on House of Villains, let's see, Omarosa, Tanisha, and Bobby Lights in New York. I won't say what they made to be on the show, but I will say this: those four spent $20,000. Those four, $20,000 of their own money on a glam squad for eliminations.
If I had that kind of money, I would
Yeah,
have done the same exact thing. I think,
yeah,
like I said, I think Seychel's beautiful, but when she puts her eyeliner on her eyelashes, her eyes just pop, and I think
yeah,
she looks like a
yeah,
beauty, like a Victoria's Secret angel model in her face on TV. I think makeup is good to accentuate your features. I love
yeah,
makeup.
yeah. So I never knew what a glam squad was until House of Villains. I'm just like, how much? 20,000. Okay, just so you might go home. Oh, but it's like, yeah,
That's
I got
fine.
all the tools.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
Yeah,
good doing it. Yeah.
yeah. Who knew? All right. It's CK against the banker, and she is outing the anti-family alliance. So, do we have a name for the alliance that is not the family? I'm going with the anti-family.
I don't. The closest thing I heard was the High Five Alliance, which was when Storm and MG were there because they were in the same bubble
Sure.
or whatever. But I haven't heard a name, and I love a good corny name your freaking alliance. I love it.
Ah,
But
Night
yeah,
Owl. That was good.
what else? Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
we were stayed up till 2 or 3 in the morning every night talking strategy and family and kids, and so I was like, we're the night owls. Like that's just who we are.
Yeah.
But
So,
I
well,
need.
well, CK's doing the outing, and Letty says, "If you say I'm coming for your head," and Will's here for this, and
Oh
I
yeah.
think Parv's here for this. I think the Golden God. I mean, we literally see the Golden God and Parv openly rooting for CK, who was their enemy minutes before the temple.
Oh yeah. I think Parv, if CK lasts and stays in this game, I think Parv, David to a certain extent, but I think Parv has CK right in her palm, and I think she's going to be her little puppet till the end of the show.
Yeah. Parv did an interview last week. Parv was asked which Dondi contestant would be good on Survivor, and she said CK. So it was just like, well, there must be something about CK I've not seen yet, and so I think this is step one of how that's explained.
That would be the last person I would pick from this season. I think would be good on Survivor. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm just saying,
I think the Golden God would be great on Survivor.
right?
Just throwing it out. I think Dr. Will thinks he would be too.
Good God, she would. Yeah, she would probably be the last person I would think would be good at it.
Yeah, I don't see her being good at Survivor. So, but I don't think it was who would be good. Who would you put on? I think she would like to see CK suffer on Survivor.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch it. I would
Yeah,
watch it in hopes that she was first out or something, but I
yeah.
don't.
I
She
think
wouldn't be my
MG
pick.
would be a good, MG be there for the showmance of it all.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
she's beautiful. So I mean, she would
yeah,
be there flocking her curls around for the men and
yeah.
good
So I'm
little
working peek behind the curtain. I'm working on a season 2 finale party in Los Angeles. I'll keep you posted.
Redondi, or
Yeah, Dondi.
I'll be there.
Why not? I'll keep you posted.
You have me a bottle of Merlot ready, and I am there.
All right. Well, it's 3.5 to 2 million cases on the right side. You know what's on the left.
Yeah.
CK chooses case number 8, and let's go ahead and pick a few random numbers. Number 3 is 3 million. Oh no. Number 5 is 100. Number 7 is 1 penny. Number 9, 2.75 million. And before we get anything else out there, Parv looks over at Phil and she goes, Phil's been very naughty. And Phil goes, I got lots of shit to say, girl. Before you start calling people naughty, shut your mouth.
Yeah, don't make me bury you right here.
Holy moly. I am for the Phil of it all. Like Phil is, I mean, I loved last week, the origin story, as a kid, he was a bigger kid. He had a speech impediment. And for the record, they have not shown any of the speech impediment on the show. And I had him as a co-host here a couple weeks, and I heard it a couple times, and like literally I didn't even catch it, but when I caught it, I was just like, does this is everything this guy do make him extra cute?
I met him in person and he is a doll. Like he is so sweet. He does have a little bit of a speech impediment. And I understand like you've had it since you were little. So I'm sure he's worked on it and has therapy and things like that. But at the end of the day, like I'm 4'11". You don't think I was picked on and bullied, you know?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, you can let something make or break you. And I think he used all these things that he had no control of to make him a stronger person. And look at
yeah.
him, he's a fucking beast with muscles popping out. I didn't even know there were places muscles could pop out of, and
Oh,
killing it,
hey.
killing it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen these little muscles on me. I don't work out, so
But I think the impediment's cute. I mean, like when he does it, I'm just like, oh my god, like because he's already ridiculously cute. I mean, like
he's a
that's
doll.
Philip's
Yeah,
gimmick. Is he's ridiculously cute, and then he does it, and I'm just like, oh my god, are you cuter? Stop it.
he is such a very genuine, sweet human. Like what you see on TV is what you see in life. He's just understandings and gets along with everybody, and like he's a dollar. He's adorable.
I want to see more. I am looking forward to the second half of the season, and I feel as though it's almost as though Philip knows where we are in the season because it's like Parvati's just like, you're being naughty. You got something to say it. And he's just like, bitch, we're on episode 6. I'm making my move episode 7. This one's going to be a cliffhanger. So hang on to your panties. I'm going to fuck you up next episode.
Right? Yeah. What's so crazy though, I mean, maybe season 2, but season 1, we didn't know if
No,
what was good. You know what I mean? But like,
I don't think he knew, but I
right.
do feel like in his head he's just like there's a time to play and a time
Yes.
not yet to play. And
Yes.
I think he's waiting. I think there's a metronome in his head going. We have hit the second half of the season.
Oh,
Make your
yeah.
fucking move.
He's highly intelligent in person
Yeah,
and on the show. So
yeah,
I think you're right. I think something's like, okay, I've gotten 50% through. Now it's
yeah,
time to start slowly chipping. You know what I mean? Like he's so
yeah.
smart. I totally agree with you there.
And the fact that Parvati doesn't see that is it drives me because she's such a student of the game and no and I think she's blinded by the kindness of Philip.
I think she's blinded by the kindness for sure. And I think that Harv thinks she can have Philip in her hand like
Yeah,
she's gonna have CK, and I don't think Philip's gonna fall for it.
he ain't
Philip's
that.
gonna act
He ain't
like
the
it,
one.
and then yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's very, very smart.
I would love for Phil. I mean, I've known Parvati for 15 years, whatever, but I think television, separating everything. Television. I would love Philip to be the one to strategically remove Parvati because he can, and
Oh yeah.
she doesn't see it.
Exactly. It's gonna like I love a good blindside, and I
Yeah,
think hopefully, like I said, I've loved Philip and Seychelles from the beginning. I If Philip won the whole show, I would be fucking ecstatic.
yeah,
Because he does have a little bit of an underdog story and things like that, but he's made himself a success. So I want someone like that to come out. I've always said I don't want, even on my season, I want an average Joe to win. Like all
yeah,
these other people have had their fandom and stardom and made some money here and there. Like I want to see an average person just busting their ass to change their life and make their goals win the show.
yeah.
I'm Team
Unless
Philip
it's
and Seychelles.
55% new people, 45% returning reality stars, and then hey, you started with the numbers, you fucked it up, and then maybe a reality star has to win.
I don't see. What's so crazy? I don't see my kids and my husband will say something. I'll get recognized in public randomly, But I don't see myself as a reality star. Actually, like was fucking like I was like I'm such a loser. I was this close and I lost. But if it was ever returning, then I would
Sure.
sure want the one that got a second to have a chance. But no, I get it. I just I love a good
I think
underdog
there's a
story.
DONDI All Stars down the road, so we shall see. So, well, guess what? The first offer is 351,000, and CK is like, "Oh no, that's nothing." And I'm just like, "All right, well, that's more than Dr. Will said yes to originally,
Oh my God.
or even lastly." All
Oh
right.
Lord.
So pick four more briefcases. Number 11, that's $1,000. Number four, 2.5 million. Number one, that's 500. Number two, 3.5 million. The offer is $656,000. That's a lot. No deal.
I would have taken the deal so fast.
Yeah, I was
If I was,
so
yeah, if I was in that, because at that point it's still 50-50 because it's two and two on each side.
sure.
But yeah, she didn't, which I mean that it's her game to play, but that's
Her
a lot
game to
of money.
play. Well, she's going two more briefcases for the final briefcase reveal. Chooses number 6 for MG. It's $1. Thank you, MG. If anyone, I didn't catch it, but if anyone was wearing their pajama robe as a dress in honor of MG for the $1 number 6 pick, who's to say? And then case number 10, that's 3.25 million. The banker goes, well, Joe goes, I'm going to ask I need to talk to the banker, or the phone rings. He's like, and he's just like, oh, yeah. Parv cannot roll her eyes any further back in her head at this point. She was like, I am so over Joe talking to production, pretending that it's this female fucking banker that's not fucking there with this fucking stock film shot of this yacht that is not in the lagoon. I mean, it was just like, I think just Parv just hit the fucking wall on this. It was like,
Yeah,
no.
there's definitely not a ship in the water. If there was, I would have got so desperate one night I would have swam out to that and begged for wine. Okay, like there's nothing out there.
Are there pina coladas? Will acts like there's pina coladas out there. There's not pina coladas on
There's
the.
not pina coladas. I was so desperate. I don't know if you ever heard about this, but I made my own hooch on season
Oh,
one. I
toilet
made my
wine?
own sure did. I made my own hooch. I got all the friend and Buster Rob popped it open and he was like, she's actually onto something. That's how desperate I was for wine. I would have swam to the fucking yacht. There was nothing out there.
Well, did you drink your homemade hooch or did they take it from you?
Oh, absolutely. I think production thought I was kidding, but I didn't. I let that shit brew for like 8 days and it
Yeah.
was
All right,
superb.
way to go. Hey, for those of you that think you can't learn anything from Orange is the New Black other than doing a used panty business, you can also make hooch on Dondi.
Homemade hooch. Yeah.
I'm for it.
I should have came out and marketed that shit. That was good.
So, well,
Good organic.
the offer is 925,000, and uh
Oh,
CK's looking around, and Philip out of nowhere says, you don't want to start this. If you go low, I'll go underground, and Harriet Tubman will call you in the middle of the night and tell you to run. And I was like, I am here for every fucking school reference that Philip has for us.
that was my favorite of every episode that's been shown this season. That's was my absolutely favorite 15 seconds. Because you see Philip like so nice and
Yeah,
sweet, and yeah, he lied to Parv, and Parv lied to him when they laughed it off, and ha ha ha, like you just see this sweet Philip. But it's like, oh no, bitch, you want to get on my bad side, honey? You're
yeah.
about to see what I can do.
I
I can
loved it.
dish it out. I love it. Oh my god, I
I,
love seeing fiery Philip.
and for everyone upset about the cliffhanger aspect of it, I'm like, if you're gonna do a clip, as I said, we would have liked a little more to a propped up CK. But if you're going out on a fucking line, a Harriet Tubman callback, I think that's a pretty good line to go out on.
That was epic. Yes, I love it. I
So
love it. But you have the cliffhanger from season one where it's double elimination and we're going from four people to two.
Yeah.
when Boston rubbed out of the maze. So I was expecting a cliffhanger to be a little bit more of a, I don't know. I just feel like this is, I don't know. I hate cliffhangers. Absolutely love them if they're worth it. I just think this one's like, nah, whatever.
I I think there's a lot working against cliffhangers on Dondi. So on Survivor, when you go to tribal council, 19 out of 20 times you're not getting a commercial and the person's voted out. I feel
Yeah.
like with Deal or No Deal Island, it's like it feels like 4 commercials once you go to the temple.
Yes, it does. It very
That's
much
a
it is.
lot.
It's a
I
lot.
I think there's too much emphasis placed on. I understand the visual of the excursions, but I feel like it's too much placed on there. And then I know the concept was based on Deal or No Deal, but I feel like it's all like maybe speed up the Deal or No Deal of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
if we
sure.
can get this done in a 2 commercial break, that I feel it's a little more palatable.
I would like I would like not the episode to end with the temple. I would like the temple to be the filler we were looking for earlier. Like do your excursion, the temple can be the filler, and then the last 15 minutes, let's see them have it out at temple. Let me see, I know we've seen previews of Seychelles telling somebody they have and they're nothing but a liar, blah blah blah. I'm wondering if that's her and CK this next time because it looks like CK is playing the banker on that preview when it first came out. But I want to see the beef and drama go down the last 10 minutes of the episode when like, oh, like MG was like, what? You're gonna take me out? What? Like I would have liked to see MG be like, why are you taking me out? Because you told me last night you would, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
want to see some of that antics
Well,
after Temple.
Well, but I think the issue is you're already working in 3 commercial breaks without the MG confrontation, just on briefcase reveals. So
Right.
I say speed up the briefcase reveals.
Yes, and then give us some drama after whoever wins or
Yeah.
loses.
So,
Then you can live with it.
but I don't like we do the temple, we do the elimination, we go back to the bar, and no one does anything, and it's just like, oh, tomorrow is going to be crazy, and I'm just like, all right, well, I didn't need that.
No, yeah, I want some drama. Like I want people
Yeah,
to
like
start
I
having it
want
out.
like if we're going back to the bar after the temple, I want fuck you.
Yeah, like Aaron told me. Aaron told me,
Yeah,
"Thank you, Aaron, how the fuck?" And I was like, "Hold up, hold up."
yeah,
They didn't get to see the drama that went down at Temple, like when he told me to shut up. So I was like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna let no man tell me to shut up. What? Like we're gonna have it out when we get back. That's the
yeah.
shit I want to see at the end of the episode.
Yeah. So no, I think they're still figuring it out because there is some. I mean, even though this episode, it wasn't like someone's getting 3 million. The fact that $3 million and $3.5 million is in people's heads, that controls emotions.
Yeah, it
and
does.
and let's get more. This show it could be so emotionally fueled, and I feel that the reliance on just the briefcase and the heights of the is just like, okay, who cares?
Right.
The
Right.
human emotion is why we watch.
Yes. Yes. And I want to see more of that.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're all on the same page, and I feel like production's figuring that out too. As I said, I feel this week was more of a like the fact that it was a cliffhanger on the drama and not the brief. Like they're getting it too.
Yeah. I think like it is a new show, and I think you learn every season, and production's great. I think
Yeah,
I'm like you. I think they're figuring it out, and I think every season moving forward is going to be, better and better. I really do think that we're going to get eventually where we do get a lot of drama.
yeah. So all right. Well, I'm sorry to end this on a cliffhanger, Amy, but I'm not the editor. I just
Oh yeah, we'll just carry on our own narrative.
Yes. So, and do whatever you do, do not watch Boston Rob's interview with the eliminated guests that may or may not have aired early. I have not. So, was it pulled or is it still up there?
No, I don't know if it was pulled or not. I haven't checked.
Yeah.
but I did see it, but
Yeah.
I mean, you'll just have
Yeah.
to wait and see.
You just have to wait and see.
You'll have to wait
So,
and see. I'm sure it's pulled by now. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's
yeah.
pulled by now.
So someone's like, "What are you doing?" So, but at
Somebody's
the
getting
same time,
fired today.
Who's prepared? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I got ahead. They're just like, "Hey, you're not interviewing anyone this week," and I'm like, "All right, did I screw up?" And they're like,
But yeah,
"No."
like you had one job. You had one job.
I was just like, "Did you not catch the Rock interview? I listened to him tell the same story he told everyone else.
Right.
It went 3 minutes over."
That's so funny. Oh, Rock. You know what? I want to meet Rock in person.
I did too. I did too.
I think he would be a
I
blast.
like Rock. So I literally asked other questions, but Rock had no desire to answer any of them.
He said, "This is my interview. I'm going to do what I want to do."
This is my
Yeah.
interview, and I will tell these same three stories and go 3 minutes over on every single press junket block.
Everyone, this is I'm taking control. Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
meet Rock in person.
yeah.
That's
I wish they had been good stories. That it would have been good.
oh God,
Right.
he's a hoot though. He seemed like my kind of guy.
Yeah. So actually, I had MG last week, and it was so crazy because like I was not excited. I was just like, it's too soon. You're not supposed to be here. And I literally got the phone call like 1 minute before we went live that my grandmother was in hospice, and
Oh,
and I'm just like, I'm driving to South Carolina tomorrow, and then I was like, hey, welcome to the show.
oh man, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
The timing was a lot.
That's a
So
lot. Yeah.
yeah. So, but Amy, where can everybody find you on the socials?
I always forget my own social.
Do I need
OKC,
to look it up for you?
no, it's OKC Amy underscore McCoy. Please no hate. I'm not gonna read it. Don't waste your time.
There we go. And Amy, so you got. I feel like we both because that was a new thing for me. I've never covered Dondi before, and
Right.
they're just like, oh my god, this guy's an idiot. I'm just like, hey, I watched the show. I didn't do a podcast. I didn't do the homework. So this
Yeah.
is a new thing. I bring on the runner up from season one because I'm trying to learn something here. I felt I learned plenty by having you as my guest, and I thought we did well. And there was like, oh, her, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, she was great. Like,
Yeah.
how about take a step back and maybe we're not exactly the person that you think we are on television. And I thought you were a ray of sunshine. I thought it was amazing, and I'm just like, I'm bringing you back. And I think people are gonna like you this go around. Other than the one thing you said,
Well, it's like people like Boston Rob just sent my kids a cookbook.
yeah,
We were just all in Nashville for a reunion show. Like we all recognize like when you like I was trying to knock Jordan off the rope. Like they're like, how dare her try to make Jordan fall? I'm like, this is a game. What do you mean how dare me trying to make Jordan fall? Like I'm spending 30 days away from my family and my children. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna go out fighting.
yeah.
And so we all recognize game versus game. You do watch a heavily edited TV show. In person, I'm probably someone you would want to be best friends with. I'm so fun. I'm
Oh,
loud. I'm a Libra. Like I'm everybody involved. I don't want anybody feel, like we FaceTimed Aaron because he couldn't make it. Like in person, the people that know me love me. But if you don't, I really don't give a fuck if you like me or not. I
there we
wasn't on
go.
there. Yeah, I wasn't on there to make friends. I was trying to change my life.
I love it. I love it. So, well, I'm at Jonny Fairplay, no H and Johnny on everything. Go to johnnyfairplay.com, links to everything. Get yourself a Valentine's Day cameo. They're actually on sale right now through Valentine's Day. Only $20. Oh, I never do them for $20. You're so welcome, everybody.
$20. I might have to go get me one. Shoot.
Yeah, cameo.com/Johnny Fairplay. No H and Johnny. And yeah, I gotta this do I have any more I have a traders podcast that I don't know when it's gonna happen, folks. I have a funeral on on Friday. So we will see when all that takes place. But Amy, thank you so much. If you don't mind, we have more episodes this season. I'd love to have you back at least one more time if you're okay
Yeah.
with that.
I'm okay
So
with it. Let me know. I love traders too. I can talk some trash about traders if you need me
I'll,
there. Just let me know.
there we go. There we go. So with that, thank you everybody. We will see you next week. We will have the Dondi episode 7 after show, and whoever doesn't make it out of the temple, it could be 2 people. Who's to say? We don't know. But with that,
It could be a double.
could be. So, and then no one's complaining, are they?
And then I don't be complaining at all. Then I'd be like, let's get that'll make up for my least excitement of this
Yeah.
week. But
All right. So all right. Bye everybody. Until next time.